with
I know you're anti-packet from our research department, but here it is.
Oh, he's
Finish
talking.
strong,
He's
like
feeling
Logan
it.
Webb.
He says his hair is on point today, so
I got a haircut
confidence
yesterday.
is...
You like where your hair's at?
Yeah, but now
So what's the separator for you? Like what? Because it looks the same to me.
It does not have a whole lot of product, but now I'm also getting my hair cut today too. But if it's looking good,
rethinking
do
it.
I push back the appointment?
Of course.
But
See, I have a strict, like, I used to shave it when I played so I didn't have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've come to realize now in the free world, you have to get it cut.
yeah.
Once a month.
Yes, I'm 3 to 4 weeks.
Is the free world everyone except baseball players?
Yes.
Once you become a civilian.
Listen, it didn't matter. I cut my own hair for 10 years in the big league. Like,
Oh my God.
and let's get it.
Yeah. Well, you've got a nice face, so you can pull that off.
You always put pressure on the face.
We love feedback, and one of our viewers is asking for a follow-up on Doug.
Oh
Yes.
yes. Hey,
you doing?
I posted a pic of Doug, and you guys, a lot of you guys were. There's Doug. He was less than thrilled when we picked him up from the vet. He was a little standoffish.
He's mad at you.
He was mad. He was like, "How dare you bring me to this house of horrors?" Horrors. But he rallied. He's okay. He was still high from the surgery. So I was like, all right, Doug, I'll help.
Get on his level.
Yeah, so
No?
we mind meld. And it occurred to me in a lot of ways.
We mind melded.
In a lot of ways, Doug is my best friend because he doesn't like to leave home. We eat pizza.
Yeah.
We watch games. And those are things I require of my best friend. So I was like, Doug's my best friend.
But are you supposed to give dogs pizza? I don't have a
Give him a
dog.
crust.
Don't dog shame me,
Yeah, don't
Lauren.
Okay, well,
I'm going
how
into.
dare I besmirch?
You're going to lose me here this weekend. I'm going into a wormhole now.
Did us a favor when clues to his brother's murder led Poncho to a fire brigade. He joins
This
it
is how
to
you eat?
investigate further and finds romance, family,
Okay.
and a serial
I tell you
killer.
what, I'm in.
It sounds like Mad Dog
Yeah,
and Alana.
I want to see what's going on. Can Mad Dog and Alana solve this crime?
No
There's a
chance.
show on Netflix called High Heat. So good.
There's a show on Netflix
I
called High
just
Heat.
said that.
Okay, I didn't.
Holy cow, is this thing on?
I didn't hear it. I've got 5 people talking in my ear.
I know.
Oh, don't blame it on Devin. To San Francisco, California. Do not call
Let's
it San
go.
Fran.
They don't.
Diamondback?
Don't do that.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't like it.
They don't like it. Do you like late night Lamont? Bottom of the third. One out.
You think I don't?
Third. Think you don't? Does his job, scores the run.
Hey, Arizona. Great job with your uniforms.
I know.
The piping, the neon blue piping pops.
It's subtle changes, but it really looks nice.
Logan Webb, the story so good for a few years now, and this was his best start of the year. The Diamondbacks had no answer for him. Retired 19 straight.
That's a
Diamondbacks.
career high for him. 19
Wow.
in a row. Wow.
Who does he look like, you said?
The actor Jesse
Yes.
Plemons. Little bit of.
I don't know who that is.
He was in Breaking Bad. He
Yeah.
played, I want
Friday
to
Night
kill him in
Lights.
that.
You were in Friday Night Lights, weren't
I
you?
was. He was in Friday Night Lights, the TV series. I was in Friday Night Lights, the movie.
Oh, you movie star, you? Do you have an IMDb page?
Eric Nays is telling me that actor's married to Kirsten Dunst.
He is. That is correct.
This game was kind of exactly what Giants fans dreamt they could be, right? A nice approach on offense, dominant pitching, 5-0 over the Diamondbacks on Thursday. Inside, Logan Webb's start set the tone. Strongest outing of the season, allowed back-to-back singles initially. So it was really nice to see Dero. And he was able to lean on his defense, right? 13 ground outs. And that's a sign for him that this stuff is working exactly the way he wants it to.
This is my nightmare, right, Lauren?
Yeah, but you've always said that.
Because you think you can get to everything, you start to get into swing mode. Next thing you know, you're 0 for 2. You're running down the first base line because you chopped one to the third baseman time and time again because you lose the 17 inches across home plate. He was on fire last night. He has a little mustache going. And I want to get into the whole sinker-slider combo that makes him so effective. But to be honest, watching the game last night, he's using his changeup just as effectively. So it was a great night for him. Let's dive in, little front end. I don't think people realize that he finished. He's probably one of the more underrated great starting pitchers in our game.
That's fair.
He finished second in the Cy Young Award to his new teammate now, Blake Snell, and he has been really good. So pause this real quick. Bring up his numbers for me, the first board, Devin. MLB ranks since the start of the 2023 season. Innings, wow. Number 1, 246 and 2/3. Fielding independent pitching, he's 7th. WAR, he's 5th. K walk rate, but this is the one with the nasty sinker, changeup, slider combo. He leads all of baseball in getting you on the ground and keeping it in the ballpark. And there's a moxie about him. I want to get into who he reminds me of and why it's so hard to hit the two-seam slider combo. So I'm going to take you to the first inning. Corbin Carroll gets a knock up the middle. Ketel Marte gets a knock up the middle, and he's got to bow down right here and get after Christian Walker. So run that back for me real quick. So now you got first and third. You're looking for a double play. Just read the bug. Pause it. He's looking for a double play, something on the ground that Nick Ahmed could turn a double play with Thairo Estrada, get him out of the inning, or go for the punch out. Watch these paint pellets he pulls off in the first to Christian Walker. Run it. So pause that for me real quick. That's 93 black that started in the left-handed batter's box. Christian's not swinging at that. Run it. Probably stay out there. Maybe tunnel a slider off it. No, he goes dirty changeup 89 that he should have got the call. Goes right back 93. He's playing with a sliver of the plate right now. Tunnels a slider off it. So now he has got Christian Walker leaned out over the plate. The only problem is that he's shown him 3 pitches out there. That's why he's so difficult. And to the lefties, he could throw the paralyzing two-seamer like he did to Jace Peterson right here. He retired 19 in a row. 13 were on the ground. I mean, this is what you're looking for. When you go to the yard, you're driving as a defender for Logan Webb and you're playing the left side of the infield, your eyes light up. This is why you take 20 minutes of ground balls every day, because you know that they're not going to square him up. Right here in the 6th inning, backdoor breaking ball. Now paralyzing two-seamer that he gets the call. Pause this. He starts to expand the plate. 17 inches becomes 18 inches, becomes 20 inches, not only to the hitter, but the umpire. So now he's got Corbin 0-2 on a pitch that was probably in off the plate. Run it. Now we're going to show little four-seamer at the top of the zone. Pause. Robert, you paying attention?
I am.
Where do you think he's going right here?
I'm going to say back to that two-seam.
He can go anywhere, and that's why Corbin gets locked up. But you're right, Robert. Run this. Standing all the way on the first base side of the rubber, almost behind Corbin Carroll. It looks like it's going to hollow out his ribs, and then it's strike 3. So he was phenomenal. Why is he so hard to hit? Check this out. Okay, leave that there for a minute. When you're in the box, these 17 inches, you'll see a lot of guys, when they close up guys hitting, they'll look down. They'll look down. I almost want to see if they're peeking at signs, but with PitchCom, they're not doing that anymore. What they're trying to do is create a runway from 17 inches all the way out to the pitcher's release point. And that's the fight. Controlling the strike zone. Where's that ball going to end up? When you face a four-seam curveball guy, if it's in these 17 inches, it's staying in these 17 inches. It's just a matter of height. When you're dealing with this, 17 inches, you have to find out what the pitch is and if it's going to stay in the tunnel, because he wants to get these 17 inches to 20 inches. So run this. This is the fight. You have to pick up what that pitch is, which way it's breaking, and if it's going to stay in those 17 inches to whether or not you're going to swing at it. That's why I always had trouble. The four-seam held plane, the two-seam is moving. Kevin Brown.
Vintage Kevin Brown.
Vintage Kevin Brown. I caught him Sunday Night Baseball, Dodger Stadium, kind of on the back end of his career. He still had a nasty sinker, but I didn't catch him at his full power. The one guy I did catch at his full power, Brandon Webb.
Yes.
Back in the day, watch these pitches. I'm not kidding you. I was in the box against this guy. There were moments where it looked like the ball went out over the second baseman's head and was a strike. And no one did it better. Cy Young Award winner, the ability to lock up a lefty right there. Yeek. So he was really awesome. Look at the pitch percentages. The changeups come into flow since the start of 2021. Sinker, he's dumbed down just a smidge. Changeup's gone through the roof. Sweeper, four-seamer. So he's got weapons. He puts you on the ground. He can get you elevated up top. But the biggest thing he does is get you in swing mode. And then he gets off the plate and gets that weak contact on the ground.
You were 2 for 2 against Kevin Brown in your major league career, 1 for 9 against Brandon Webb.
Ooh.
Check the postseason, though. I think I had 2 knocks in a postseason
We're
game.
on it.
All right, we're on.
I cared more in the postseason, guys.
There was a weird gap last night before this game. Like, there's nothing on.
Yeah,
there was no, with the games rained out. I was watching the women's NCAA gymnastics.
I was watching The Office. Boom. Keep it going.
2 for 10 against Brandon Webb, including the postseason. So you did get that postseason knock.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Detroit for the Rangers and Tigers. Special moment for a lot of people, including a lot of people here at the network. Marcus Semien gets the scoring started in the first with his 3rd home run of the season, and it's 1-0. Going in, it was all about Jack Leiter, who was making his major league debut. And this is how you want to start it. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. First career strikeout for Jack Leiter at the expense of Riley Green. There you go, Al and the Leiter family. Congratulations. That's great stuff there.
Give me that nasty changeup to Kerry Carpenter.
Bottom of the 4th. The Rangers have a 7-4 lead. Leiter is still out there. Leody Taveras, Dero, if this ball is caught...
I'm going to need you to make that play.
Yeah, if this ball is caught, his outing maybe looks a little different.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. Look.
It goes for a triple 2-run score, cuts the lead to 7-6. Next batter, Spencer Torkelson.
And Boch admitted in the post game he probably should have taken him out.
Yeah, he said, I wanted to give him one more hit. That's it for Jack Leiter, 3 2/3, 8 hits, 7 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. We go to the 8th inning. You got runners on the corner for Corey Seager. Torkelson's throw to second is wide. Run scores. Rangers go on to win 9-7. Here's Jack Leiter on his MLB debut.
Yeah, obviously it's a surreal experience. It's something you dream about since you're a little kid, and being around the game always, it's a special day. It's a special day from start to finish. They're just proud. Yeah, proud day, exciting. Obviously, results-wise from my standpoint, not ideal and not what I was, not what you dream about in a debut. But we won the game, and that's the most important thing.
Oh, that's such a great shot. By the way, Al, of course, who we know very well here at the network, his brother Mark, are the first brothers in history who have also had their sons make it to the majors. And Mark Leiter Jr. and, of course, now Jack Leiter. I mean, what a remarkable achievement by that family. Jack Leiter threw the ball well. The line doesn't look the way he would want, but what'd you see from him?
Stuff plays.
Yeah.
Period. In the first inning, he popped Riley Green on 3 pitches. He threw a nasty changeup to Kerry Carpenter, got him out of an inning. Listen, this is the game now. They're searching for stuff. So if you watch this game through and through, the thing that jumped off when he gave up a lot of 2-strike hits on mislocation. Right? But that's nasty. He just has to lock in with Mike Maddox, pitching coach, and get in the strike zone a little bit more and command the strike zone a little bit more to get them on swing mode where they're not hunting heater in the middle of the plate. Other than that, I thought he handled himself really nice.
Yeah.
I hear pitchers say all the time, I didn't feel in my own skin until I was 27, 28. So he has a beautiful journey ahead of him, right?
I didn't feel my legs my first at bat. The only thing I was concerned at my first at bat in the big leagues was could you see my legs shaking? The thought of the result was irrelevant.
Yeah.
And then the hype had that.
No, he looked great.
Well, congratulations. To Al Leiter and Jack Leiter.
Al, stop charting. I did see him. He was like charting pitches up there.
He's invested.
No, I got it.
He had his sunglasses on. He was minding his own.
Real quick, apparently, Nays, it's Jack's cousin that pitches. Cam Leiter pitches at Florida State. So there's a good chance we see another Leiter on the mound. So really good stuff there. All right, we're just getting started on this Friday. Welcome back. This is MLB Central presented by Hyundai. Good morning. We're glad you're with us on a Friday. This is the 1 hour cut down show of MLB Central later in the day.
Ahmed Rosario, 1 year, $1.5 million.
It's coming through.
And he's hitting third for the Rays.
Yep. Triples down the line, gives them a 1-0 lead on the Angels. Move to the 6th. Mike Trout is on first. Miguel Sano. Mike Trout steals second. And then later in the at bat, he steals third. I mean, we're seeing things from Mike Trout that we haven't seen in a couple years. Sano, because of Mike Trout's hustle,
the noise.
Scores on the sac fly, and the Angels got the lead at 2-1. Ryan Pepiot
got good stuff. He's just been burned with the long ball a little bit in his first couple starts. Besides that,
6 innings, 7 strikeouts.
Oh, that's fair.
1 run.
High stirrups he's going with.
9th inning.
Bacon strips.
Poland Poche facing Brandon Drury gets the final out. Kevin Cash, career win number 750. Needs just 5 more to pass Joe Madden for the most in team history. Congratulations.
By the way,
Kevin Cash.
Coaches, stop with the old school stirrups. The parents do not want
Guardians, Red Sox, Josh Naylor with the game tied at 1. Tied no more. 2-1 Cleveland. Andres Jimenez moves to the 5th inning. Got runners at the
seriously,
corner. Get to the chopper! Guardians have a 3-1 lead. Now, move to the home half.
Lauren, explain to me how the Guardians are 13-6.
I'm about to.
Bottom of the 6th, Jarren Duran. It's now 5-1. That's in the triangle, and with his speed, it's definitely 3. It might be 4. Look at this kid go. I can't believe there was talk. He was mentioned in trade talks this spring. I was like, what the heck are they thinking about?
We don't really know what Boston's.
Boston, however, still down 5-3 in the 9th. Emmanuel Clase facing Tristan Casas. Good matchup here. Got him.
I just think they let Mookie walk. I know this is years ago and it's a different regime. Let Mookie walk and gave all that money to Devers. They gave Mookie's money
Guardians are 10-3 on the road this year. The best record in baseball.
And they're tied for the second best record in the game behind the Braves. They took 3 of 4 in Boston. I love what Stephen Vogt said after the game. He said it wasn't pretty. We made mistakes.
Yes,
the field was sloppy. There were errors, but it's those games that are the most satisfying. Did you feel that way?
Yes.
When you won them, you were like, darn.
No business winning this game. Let's get on.
I wasn't quite sure what to expect of the Guardians, but I did not expect this. Great start.
You know, it's fun. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised by the guy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
By the guy who's leading them, right? It's the Guardians have been doing this for a while now. We take them for granted. They find a way to pitch, timely hitting, play good defense. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna back up before we get into this tape. 2 years ago, Stephen Vogt came here to kind of moonlight.
I never met him when he was here.
Incredible.
Nice guy.
He came to moonlight here like, maybe I want to do some TV stuff. And we went back to my office and he looked me dead in the face. I said, what do you think? You like it here? He goes, I want back on the field. Like that was ultimately his heart was, I want cleats back on. I want back on the dirt with the boys. And it shows. So let's get into this tape because he might be running for manager of the year. There he is. And I'm voting for
It's a vote for Vogt.
Okay. And what's the platform? Being awesome. The fans absolutely love this guy. Look at him. He'd endeared himself to every clubhouse he ever walked into. Are you kidding me? He can hit you with the funny. This is him back in the day on Intentional Talk. Do yourself a favor. And look that up because it was hilarious. He can give you father figure. He can give you serious. He knows the game inside and out, and he's bringing a cabinet with him. Secretary of Treasury? No, Robert. It's not Dr. Janet Yellen.
No, it's not.
It's Jose Ramirez.
I could see where you get confused. There.
7 years, $141 million extension signed in April of 2022, the largest contract in franchise history. You know who the Secretary of Defense is?
Got a big thumb.
It's not Lloyd Austin.
No, it's not.
It's Andres Jimenez. He leads all second basemen with 42 defensive runs saved, 35 outs above average since the start of 22. So he's getting it done. Had a couple knocks yesterday as well for good measure. Keep it rolling. We need a Secretary of Energy. Didn't even know that position exists, but it does. Jennifer Granholm.
You and Perry.
It's Stephen Kwan.
Just shush.
Stephen Kwan has a 354 batting average with an 828 OPS in 18 games this season.
Sign this dude to an
Leads the American League with 18 runs scored. You know, hey, I know you're from Canada. I don't care. You're our director of Homeland Security.
Everyone's scared of you.
He mashes the baseball at home, hitting 450 with 3 bombs in the early going in Progressive Field. And I don't care. If you're going to headbutt your manager, you could defend my Homeland Security. Okay? And the secretaries of education are the back end of this bullpen. Every year they figure out weaponry. Hunter Gaddis. On down the line, Emmanuel Clase, Tim Herod, Nick Sandlin, Cade Smith. Vote has weapons. I want to vote for Stephen Vogt.
Hunter Gaddis needs to be in a Carhartt ad. He would be so perfect.
Please. Don't overthink it.
If you ran for office, what would your first law be?
Oh, you don't want to know.
I do want to know.
I can't say it on the air.
What would yours be?
Mine would be term limits. It's enough.
Mine would be if you're in the back of the plane.
Yeah.
You stay there.
That's what
There's
you're worried about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Back of the plane?
If the plane exits in a certain way.
And if you're the president, that's what you want?
Yeah, number one.
I would have a Shark Tank. I'm offing people. But keep it moving.
Gosh,
Yeah.
it got dark.
Yeah,
like in the lawn of the White House, there's sharks?
Well, we'll hide it somewhere.
You just throw people in if they do something
Yeah, let's just
wrong?
go ahead and move on.
Oh my God.
What's that alien place?
You hear his initial thought, but yet you want more.
I need to
I mean,
know.
what are you trying
What's
to
the place where the aliens are hiding now? Area something?
Yeah.
Hey, you're just
That's right.
throwing them and you're going
Exactly.
to watch them get eaten?
Unbelievable.
I think
let's go to break.
No rules and regulations again. We've lost that.
Welcome back to MLB Central. We are presented by Hyundai. Happy Friday, JP Morosi. We got work to do, and so does Justin Verlander. Our pay scale is a little bit different, but what can you do? He is back a little bit on a big league mound. Robert, you're going to be very excited about that. What can we expect in terms of limitations? Good morning.
Lauren, good morning. The Houston Astros need some good news. And so here's the future Hall of Famer back on the mound for the Astros tonight. Long anticipated season debut for JV. It'll be his third game start of the regular season. He made 2 minor league rehab outings, gave up a number of runs in his last one. So he's not necessarily based on the numbers in peak midseason form, but he is good to go. He knows his body exceptionally well. He's able to get back on the mound now and give the Astros some quality. The expectation is probably in the range of 5 innings based on where he was the last couple times out. There you see the rotation that he is now joining. Of course, Brown and France had struggled a bit to begin this season. The Astros, some good news here, Lauren. They do believe Framber Valdez is not far behind Verlander in terms of rejoining the rotation. But I'll make this point, Lauren. Time is a little bit short for the Astros to really prove that this is going to be a team that needs to be reinforced at the deadline. Robert, we've talked certainly a lot during the course of the early stage of the season. They're not there yet in terms of saying, well, this team is going to be a seller in July. But Robert, I would say they've got to really prove some things in the next 6 weeks if they want to be a team that's adding and not subtracting. If they're still below 500 at the beginning part of June, I'm saying, Robert, they're on the route to Sellersville, I would believe, at the trade deadline.
You're preaching to the choir, JP.
Derosa says we're overreacting.
Very important stretch.
But Robert is shaking his head about the Astros
legit.
first start.
Lauren, they've got 6 weeks. I'm saying this, 6 weeks to turn this thing around.
Okay. What about the Padres?
Good Lord. God, we're panicking about the Astros already?
They're on the clock.
There's some metrics.
They're
on the clock. The season just started. I don't even know where I'm living yet.
6 weeks. 6 weeks turn around.
You guys, this is why the players get annoyed.
This is why what?
That's why the players get annoyed. Can give us a chance to get loose?
I said 6 weeks. They got 6 weeks by the end of May. By
We've
Memorial
given
Day.
you-
Clip this.
We've given you 7 years to.
That is the truth, by the way.
Pure joy, and now you want to bury us.
Dominance
Turn the
forever.
page.
You're a son of a.
What about you, Darvish? On the injured list with neck tightness, is this something that could linger? Tell me more.
The expectation, Lauren, is that it's not going to be a long-term thing for you, Darvish, and the Padres, which is good news because they're keeping a very close pace right now with the Dodgers in the NL West. I would expect Randy Vasquez could be the guy who gets the call coming up for the Padres, but they've been pretty solid to begin the year. This is the first time that anybody out of their core 5-man starting rotation is going to get a start this regular season. So overall, they've been in a pretty good place. I've been pleasantly surprised / impressed by the Padres since what I saw from them in Seoul, South Korea to begin the season. Again, you see Randy Vasquez on that list. Brito is in their bullpen right now. He could be a spot starter type, but they've got Vasquez in the minor leagues, has not had a very good start to the year statistically, but has had some experience based on his tenure with the New York Yankees. So this is their rotation group now. They made the big move to bring in Dylan Cease. And I got to say, you think about all the money that the Dodgers invested this past offseason, the Padres are staying right there with them. And especially if Darvish is not out for long, it's going to be a very intriguing race. The Dodgers, Lauren, they've lost 3 out of the last 4 series. The Padres are staying close now to begin the regular season.
You said the word impressive, and I went to 7 camps this spring, and the most impressive guy I met was Paul Skeens. Just imposing, wise beyond his years, has the perfect temperament for Major League Baseball. What's his schedule?
Well, Lauren, he has not given up a run since you saw him. So that's a pretty good start to the regular season for Paul Skeens. Now, they need a starting pitcher this weekend. It's going to be Quinn Priester and not Paul Skeens. But, Lauren, his time is coming. And I know there's a lot of heat right now on the Pirates. Call him up now. But here's the idea. And I actually think Ben Cherington, their GM, is doing it the right way. They are really curtailing his innings to begin the year because they do not want to have, let's say, the same thing that transpired with Steven Strasburg 12 years ago to happen now, which is, oh my gosh, we're better than we expected. And his innings count is already up higher than we're comfortable. What do? We got to shut him down. The idea here is this. Be careful with his innings to begin the year. Gradually increase his innings. And whether it's May or June, make sure that once he is up, that he is good to go. And if you get to a spot to where in the second half of the year with Jones and Keller, and now you add Skeens in there, they can win this division. But once he's up, I think this is the right way to do it, Lauren. I know Pirates fans want to see him right now. I'm good with this as long as once he is up, you let him go. And he's good for the rest of the year. It's not fair to expect he goes from LSU and a little bit of minor league work last year to throw in 190 innings this year. That's not going to happen. So be careful and really ration the innings in the minor leagues. And then by the time he's up to the show, let him roll, D-Row. I'm telling you, the Buccos got a chance in the NL Central this year.
He just gets it, too. You see this line of fans? Let's show it to you. It wasn't a couple fans.
This was last night in Indianapolis, Lauren. And look at this. That's a line up the seats to the concourse. And there's my man, fresh off of striking out a billion dudes.
Ruined the game.
Yeah.
And by the way, I love this. I love this, guys. The security guard is standing next to Skeens. Zoom in there. He's saying, like, is this okay that Paul is still here? Like, how long am I going to be here?
Yeah.
And the answer is as long as Paul Skeens needs to sign the autographs. He gets it, Lauren. That was the perfect way to say it. I cannot wait for him to be in the show.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice, that's a nice gesture on his part.
Absolutely is. JP Morosi, appreciate it. Robert, take it away.
Thanks. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, let's check out the Capital One walk-offs from this week.
We're going round and round the bases on a Friday, and we have a weekend plan for you. Yes, we do. Let's set it up. Didn't you pick Rangers Braves for your World Series?
That's my World Series.
Did I make that up?
Rangers just got to hold pat this first half, and then hopefully the cavalry comes in the second half with the likes of
DeGrom.
I don't know, you heard of him?
Scherzer.
Jacob DeGrom. Scherzer.
Who else?
They can hang in there. Tyler Mahle.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Braves rotation in a postseason series just with Spencer Strider. How would it go right now?
Well,
Yeah, this is an interesting series this
Max Fried
weekend.
would get the ball in game one.
Yeah.
Sale Morton?
Yeah, Ronaldo Lopez wants
Seriously.
he wants to put his name in the ring. And I still think Alex Anthopoulos, I don't think a guy like Paul Blackburn stays with Oakland the entire season. So I think he's a guy
Well, the thing that I've always liked about Alex Anthopoulos, he identifies what he wants, and he gets it.
He's in a lab somewhere.
He doesn't wait for other teams. So
yeah, he kind of knows what he wants. He's got a good feel for the chemistry. I feel like sometimes some of these trade deadlines, the GMs don't take into account what infusing this character into our clubhouse is going to do.
Saturday is our showcase game, Rangers Braves from Truist Park. Now, another intriguing weekend series is the Royals hosting the Baltimore Orioles. Now, you remember Kansas City went into Baltimore, I believe it was last week, and they could have won that series. They got walked off twice against the Orioles. Here are the pitching matchups. What are you going to be looking for this weekend in Kansas City?
Saturday.
I was looking at Lugo. I'm a fan.
We're going to do some. I just said to Nays, we got to lock in on Seth Lugo. He is having, what was he, 3-0 with like a 1?
Look at this.
But on Saturday, you're getting Corbin Burns against Cole Reagans. Cole Reagans is sitting at 98. He came into the studio. He's an absolute sweetheart. And I think for me, it's a nice, what we'd like to refer to in the biz as a litmus test.
Good phrase.
For the Royals.
That phrase annoys me.
I know. That's why I said it.
Baltimore, you just
nice
took them
litmus test.
Last October, they just ran out of pitching. So it's the perfect addition. And do they need one more, perhaps?
I think they need one more, but Kyle Bradish going in the minors, and
he looked pretty good. Looked pretty good.
So let's pump the brakes.
Okay, 4 straight series wins for the New York Mets. You guys went to camp with them. You came away talking about them, but I'm looking about tonight. Yamamoto, early impressions, Dero.
My early impressions of Yamamoto are, I mean, he's making $1 million more than Garrett Cole, which I think is insane. It goes to hitting the market at the right time and getting a bidding war going, and the Dodgers really want him. Because when I watch him, the heater, he's really, really good. I got to give him a minute to get adjusted. He can obviously manipulate the ball all over the map. Dirty curveball, nasty split finger. His heater's a little flat for me. I don't think he has the massive success that his contract's going to warrant people thinking he should have. Yeah. But he's certainly going to get postseason start.
What have you liked about the Mets? What gives you concern? What gives you concern moving forward?
I mean, the health of the starting rotation.
Okay.
And I need Francisco Lindor to get rolling here offensively.
Okay.
They can only cover that up for so long. He's got to be a guy. He was a 30-30 guy for them last year. Again, this is a nice, they started what, 0-5, 0-6. Completely flipped the script, which we knew they would. Their hearts are in the right place in that locker room. We can tell.
Now they're 10-8.
And then I think now this is a nice
litmus test.
Yeah, nice another litmus test for them for them to go out to LA, weekend series. The place is going to be jammed. Sean Manaea is a great way to get it started. Let's see what you got.
Yeah. So this is
playing good baseball.
This is a litmus test.
It's a big weekend.
It's a big weekend for litmus tests. And how do you feel about the word moist?
You remember
People say they don't like it. I like it.
You like the word moist?
I like moist.
I mean, who doesn't like moist? Like a moist cake.
I love cake.
If you will. All right, FanDuel.
I love cake.
Time now for odds and trends presented by Who doesn't love cakes?
Cake by the ocean.
Yes. Let's talk about Mookie Betts here, D-Row. This is just one prop bet here.
Give it to me.
Does he get at least 2 hits? He has very good lifetime hundreds against Sean Manaea. Very good lifetime numbers.
Of course Mookie Betts is getting 2 hits tonight. I can't believe I'm betting on that.
He's hitting .345 lifetime against Sean Manaea. 7 extra base hits?
What?
Woof, woof.
Got to go with it.
So this is a litmus test for Sean Manaea.
Robert, honestly.
To take on
I'm saying it.
Mookie Betts and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Beautiful out there this morning in Los Angeles.
Looks like a marine layer.
Guys, baseball season's here, so get in on all this hot action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Bringing us in from break, Major League Baseball and rock band, decorated alternative rock band Pearl Jam, combining to create custom highlight edits set to the band's brand new single, Running, which you just heard off their 12th studio album, Dark Matter. They're going to be a guest of the Howard Stern Show Monday. that's neither here nor there.
Is that heaven, north side of Chicago?
Oh,
Welcome
look at
inside.
that. That is a game, by the way, many of you will see right here on the network. Marlins Cubs, they were rained out yesterday.
Tyone
have a
debut, huh?
doubleheader on Saturday. And yes, Jamison Tyone will get the start against the phenomenal A.J. Puck.
Hour 2 on a Friday.
Yes.
Dan the Man,
I'm here.
good morning to you. We're thrilled you are.
Morning, Dan.
And
How do we
the
feel
new
about
Mets City Connect show.
That's right. The Mets unveiling their City Connect jerseys just this morning. They're going to wear them for the first time Saturday, April 27th at home against the St. Louis Cardinals. Here they are. It's
Explain the purple, Robert. 'Cause
the
we were
purple
questioning
is a tip of the cap to the 7 line.
to Willets Point.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, is that what it
You've
is?
never
Yeah.
taken the subway,
right.
apparently.
I have not.
Oh,
You have
oh
not?
my gosh.
No, I've taken the subway. I'm just not very familiar with it. So here's some of the montage that their social team has created. They just revealed the uniforms just this morning. So once again, they will be unveiling them. I'm sorry, wearing them for the first time next weekend when they take on the St. Louis Cardinals. This weekend, of course, they're in Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. So this is nice, dark gray. And then, of course, the purple accent.
Like what they've done with the sleeves here, it accentuates the biceps.
And what did you
right?
say
So
when
it
you're
doesn't-
taking the team? When
Listen,
you're
at
taking
the
your
end of the day, guys, it
you
was
want
all
the
about
bicep
the forearm exploding when you're
Yes.
in the box. Like all these guys wearing all this tape and stuff. That people want to see the ripple.
It scares
No.
pitchers too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, right. Yeah.
They want you.
Look at Lauren. Lauren's like,
They want you to. You want to create lag.
Lauren, they
with
want
a
to see
tight fit.
Lauren, they want to see the ripple and the explosion.
Tell me.
All right.
What does Heidi say when you say
By the
stuff
way,
like that?
You're an idiot. That's the stuff I think about, though.
Lauren, with your
What?
pants, makes me just want to go, Sandy.
Tell me about it instead.
You're the one that I want. Okay. That's right. Let's go front and center.
We've all played grease in the basement.
Don't
Don't kid
lie.
yourself.
Hey, let's give you a little college baseball. This is Jack Caglione going
Go
8
Gators.
consecutive games with a homer for the Florida Gators. All right, taking on the Bandy Boys. Great SEC rivalry there. And remember, that young man is a two-way player. So he might be on the mound, he might be in the box, wherever. Meantime, Rays beat the Angels yesterday. Ryan Pepio pitched very well in the series finale. Mike Trout had a couple of stolen bases. This was a pitcher's duel. And with the win, Kevin Cash is now 5 wins away from surpassing Joe Madden for most wins in franchise history. It was a little bit of a slugfest yesterday in Detroit between the Rangers and the Tigers. Jonah Heim, Marcus Semien went deep. It marked the debut of Jack Leiter. We detailed his start in hour number 1. And Adolis Garcia also went deep as the Tigers fall to the Rangers by the final of 9-7. Meantime, in Boston, Andres Jimenez with a couple of bid RBIs gets thrown out trying to stretch it to a double. Jose Ramirez, key hit there. And they take 3 of 4 from the Boston Red Sox, 5-4. No Rafi Devers in that lineup for the Red Sox because he's dealing with a bit of a knee issue. The Diamondbacks had all sorts of issues with Logan Webb, and they are definitely not the last team that'll have to say that. Logan Webb at one point retired 19 consecutive batters. Giants blanked the Diamondbacks 5-0.
Jordan Montgomery makes his Texas debut. Big expectations for him now.
Swing and a miss. It's Montgomery's first strikeout as a Ranger.
He's pitching the way that he wants to pitch now.
He's striking out 9th strikeout from Montgomery tonight.
He does such a masterful job of keeping the ball away.
Got him swinging. Big strikeout for Jordan Montgomery.
That's perfectly located. That is right on the corner. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Absolutely outstanding by Jordan Montgomery.
Now let's go. Bumper Cam up and running on the West Coast, Best Coast. Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery making his season debut. Sign me up.
It's a big game right there.
Yeah, and it's exclusively on Apple TV Plus. Dan, I have heard you guys say spring training is for the pitchers, right? You always say that. So for a guy who missed that, like Jordan Montgomery, what are you looking for in his first start of the year?
I think he's going to do just fine. I was worried about Blake Snell because he had no spring training, convinced the Giants, I'm ready to go. I thought he started a little bit too soon. I like the way the Diamondbacks patient with Jordan Montgomery, let him get his legs underneath him, didn't rush him up. I think he'll pitch well tonight.
Let's give a tip of the hat to Mike Hazen and the Arizona Diamondbacks because this contract, 1 year, 25, based on what he did last year, is light. Big time. And the thing that jumps out at me before we get into this, Jordan Montgomery's stuff, if you took away the imposing figure and kind of the deception, he doesn't have like elite stuff. He gets some really good hitters to take some really ugly swings.
He can move the ball on both sides of the plate. That's the key.
All right, let's get into the tape. I want to show people how he goes about it, what makes him effective. Dan, you can jump in at any time. But he's had an interesting career. Came up in 2017 with the Yankees, was the 5th starter. When he was with the Yankees, and we're going to pause this real quick. When he was with the Yankees, they were afraid for him to use his fastball a lot, okay? But he went on a run in the postseason. I'll get back to the St. Louis in a second. Bring up the last 10 games of 2023 and what he meant to the Texas Rangers. So he gets traded in. We were here the day it happened on the couch for Harrison Bader, an odd trade for the Yankees to make. Right. And he goes to St. Louis, ends up going over to Texas, and goes on a run. 5-1 with a 1.86, 58 innings, 39 punchies, 10 walks. But I think a lot of it, get back into the tape, started after the trade to St. Louis. It was almost as if the St. Louis Cardinals analytics department and the catchers and Ali Marmol or whoever it may be said, you need to start throwing your heater more. It's effective. And you have a wipeout breaking ball. So we're not going to pitch kind of scared. Pause this real quick. Bring up the next board, pitch usage board. And you see it. The sinker four-seam went up almost 12%. And he kind of eliminated that slider cutter. So it was like more aggressive. He could get in on righties. You say it all the time. If a lefty can power the ball in on a right-handed hitter.
Those guys have longevity. They have staying power.
Yeah. And he does it almost without a cutter. We'll get into it. He does it where he can create this angle in and bring that two-seamer back on righties, which is really tough to do.
He commands both sides of the plate with a heater. He can cut it in. He can also hit that outside corner. So you may look in, and then he'll buy himself strike one, hitting that fastball for strike one.
And let's get back into the tape. We got a Bo Bichette. We got a couple great superstar players getting outside the zone. So he is like a condor. He's releasing the ball from almost 7 feet vertically, release point wise, and he's getting great hitters to just swing at balls that are bouncing in front of the plate. Kyle Tucker right there. But I think the thing for me, pause this real quick, I want to make this point before we jump in, is the ability, Dano, to drive the ball in, like I said, on the right-handers with a two-seamer. It's not that John Lester cutter, Justin Steele cutter, Cole Hamels cutter. It's more of a two-seam bring back on the front hip. This is an AB late in the year against J-Rod. Just watch him get in swing mode. That's 93. It's not 97. Run this. We're going heater away, changeup away, nice pitch, 1-1. Then he gets a call right here. In off. So now J-Rod's swinging at whatever he throws, but we're going to slow this down. That's a two-seamer trying to come back off his front hip. Run that back for me one time. I want the people at home right at release point to understand what I'm talking about. Right there. And Dan, you could talk about this. Did you ever throw a two-seamer?
I couldn't. My ball naturally had cut, so I didn't like to do it. I threw a cross-seamer. But what he's able to do when that ball comes off, that's
a bold, like you got to really trust.
You really have to trust it. What he does, and when you look at him, you watch him, he has really sound mechanics for a guy that's as big as he is.
Yeah.
Because normally you get guys 6'3", 6'4", 230 pounds. They're going to fall one side of the mound to the other, right? So it's hard to throw that pitch, D-Row, if you're a lefty and you fall towards third base, right? Because your body's going this way.
You need that middle.
Absolutely, absolutely. So he finishes. What he does a really good job of, he keeps his sternum and his chin on line with home plate to the target, because it's hard to throw that ball away if your body's going this way. Your body's going to the right and you're trying to throw the ball to the left. One or two things happen. You either air it high or you punch it down into the ground.
All right, run this. And then we're going to get to a Yandy Diaz at bat in the postseason where, just you talk about heater in and Yandy. Middle cut, he's trying to go in 93 right there. Then he executes it down, it's 1-1. He's staying stuffed inside. You see Jonah Heim, he is stuffed inside. Throw it again.
Oh. I mean, that just lock you up, right? That's kind of like the Greg Maggs from the other side, from a righty, that you bring it back. This is the biggest weapon that he has. He was the only guy.
Pause this.
That could solve that guy in Yordan Alvarez.
Punched him out 3 times.
With the curveball.
With the nasty breaker.
Yeah, because he had him aware of the two-seamer that he could run in on him, which is a way to a righty. So a guy like Yordan fit right into his MO because he's comfortable to a righty throwing the ball away, right?
Yeah.
Two-seamer. Well, that's the ball in to Yordan that he has a difficult time handling. So what does he do? He's got to be aware of that ball. No hitter wants to get their bat blown up, right? So I'm going to be quick in there. And then what he does, he struck him out 3 times in the postseason on that curveball.
The reason I bring up Justin Verlander is I want people to understand. First off, Eric Nays wanted me to make a point, researcher to the stars, that his curveball is dirty. And I get that his curveball is absolutely nasty and he gets terrible swings. But I think what makes him effective to me is the ability to run that two-seamer in on the right-handers from such a tall vertical release. This is number 1 in the game. No one gets on top of the baseball more than Justin Verlander.
Correct.
Okay? So he's able to throw a two-seamer from the vertical release of one of the guys who just, rips 4-seamers at the top of the zone. So run this. And they're creating, pause, click it forward, one more. From that release point,
which is
they're getting balls to bounce on the ground. Their breaking balls are bouncing. So you're trying to cover so much range as a hitter. Run it. It's just a lot to focus on. Big, huge guy, deception, hides himself well.
And a lot of times what you'll see, like a lefty like Montgomery, guy that throws a curveball, it's hard to notice, but really good hitters can pick it up. You have a tendency after a while as a left-handed reliever, a pitcher, your arm starts to drop down just a little bit, right? And that's a trigger to a good hitter that an off-speed pitch is coming. But he throws that curveball.
He stays on top.
He stays on top, just like he throws the two-seamer that he runs in on him. That's why he's so hard to hit.
Bring up the sinker boards. Here's the first one. Most runs saved on sinkers among starting pitchers 2022-2023, second. Next to Chris Bassett, Sandy Alcantara, on down the line. But bring up the metrics, like the analytics of it. Jordan Montgomery, sinker metrics in 2017. So he was top of the food chain with Justin Verlander, vertically releasing it from 7 feet, right up here. He's actually dropped just to give his sink a little bit more run, but he's still releasing it from so high that, he's presenting 2 different problems. He's like, Dan, he's probably your size, 6'5", 6'6", creating this deception, getting on top of a two-seamer where most guys get on top of a four-seamer. And you see the inches of drop is spiked, inches of break. So this thing is...
I think when you look at this, too, and you look at him, like what the Red Sox are doing right now, they're going exclusively breaking ball pitches. And I think what you can't do is you get a slew of pitchers now that are like, you get breaking ball happy. And a guy like Jordan Montgomery, he has good stuff, not great stuff, right? He's not the kind of guy you watch and you go, wow, like 97, 98.
It's ugly swings,
but he does. And it just goes to show you, you don't have to have 98 to 100, but if you could have 94, 95 and locate it. And we talked about this last year. DeGrom, Scherzer, Garrett Cole, why are they so good? Because they can ride the four-seamer up and they can throw it down a zone. You might be sitting fastball, but you don't know which one you're going to get your 2-0, right?
Yeah.
And they could throw one that sinks, they could throw one that rides, and that's what he does. He uses all of his pitches, and he has that devastating curveball, which helps too.
Nah, this will be a great game.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Who made you take the ugliest swings, D-Row, when you played? Was there a pitcher?
Well, the numbers support Braden Looper, which doesn't make any sense to me. But
Randy Johnson,
I was 1 for 17.
Whew.
Oh, you're not the only guy, though.
Yeah, man.
I remember the one, though.
There you go.
Bullet up the chute when he hit the yank.
Hey, we got a little feedback. Hashtag MLB Central. Let's see what we got here. I don't even know what's coming up. This one here from Straight Cheddar. Pump up those arms, D-Row, because Mr. Plesac making you look short.
Oh, man.
I know.
Yeah. That's why I do it. You got to stand up on the bump. I got to stay down on the ground.
That's why I do it. I'm not giving up.
I mean, Dan's a tall drink of water, as we say down south. So.
What are you, 6'5"?
6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to stand on a bump. I'll stay right here. This looks better.
All right, still to come here on MLB Central. It's Friday, so you know what that means. We get to celebrate the weird, the wacky, what's gone on, ham and eggers. And do I hear that we're going to take a closer look at a ham and egger Hall of Famer?
Do you think that the Marlins ball boy is not in there?
I mean,
do you know me or do you know me?
I need him in every segment.
Is the scissors play in there from
Is the scissors play from?
That's out.
Eggers, they were just doing their job.
Okay. Where the Cardinals and Brewers will begin a series. It's a game many of you will see right here on the network. It's going to be 8 o'clock in the East time zone, but 7 o'clock local time. It's the Brewers and Cardinals. Kyle Gibson, fastball Freddie Peralta. That is your pitching matchup. And who knows? There's a good chance that maybe our next guest will find his way on the mound and in the game. Brian Hudson of the Milwaukee Brewers joins us now from his hotel room before today's game between the Brewers and the Cardinals. Brian, we appreciate the time. How you doing this morning?
Really good. Thank you guys for having me.
Dan Plesac is here, and obviously Dan knows a thing or two about getting some big outs at the end of games for the Milwaukee Brewers. You, like Dan, big lefty on the mound there. What's been working right for you? You're off to a very good start.
The fastball and I think the cutter and fastball cutter combo I think's been keeping them off their toes a little bit, giving me a lot of ground balls and also some swing and miss, so can't be upset.
And at 6'8", how does your height help you on the mound?
I think it just helps me be a little bit more deceptive, and also with my extension, I think my heater gets on people a little bit quicker than normal.
Brian, kind of jumping off how it helps you, how long, because I always marvel, especially Dan, you could jump in on this too, like north of 6'5", 6'6", for you guys to sync up your mechanics. Were you was this a slow burn, high school into college, into the minor leagues, or were you always able to throw strikes?
It was kind of a slow burning thing. You know, I had to learn to use my body in the right ways, and it was not easy for a little bit, but once you kind of got settled into it and got comfortable, definitely made things easier.
Hey, Brian, you had a freakish injury, a fracture in your back. How did that happen?
It was very, very random. I was pitching and I kind of felt a little bit of tightness come on, and then I finished the inning, and after the inning, I couldn't stand up straight, so it was a tough one.
Does it give you any problems now, or are you fully recovered from that?
Yeah, fully recovered. I do all kinds of stuff in the training room day in and day out to kind of prevent stuff like that now. But, all good now.
Brian, obviously the Milwaukee Brewers have a solid history of developing players, developing pitching especially. What have you found since coming to this organization about how they incorporate the data, the coaching? How does it all work for you?
It works really well. I think they do a really good job of scouting and kind of working to my strengths and helping me with my strengths, and as well as instilling confidence in like the relievers and the pitchers. They just preach, trust your stuff, and you hear that so many times. It's hard to not believe it. So,
all right, take me back to high school. You're a big basketball guy, obviously 6'8". Did we have offers? Did we have decisions to make? Did you always know baseball was the path?
So I had a few smaller, D1 school offers and a handful of other school offers. But once the bigger offers came in from big name colleges and that kind of stuff, I kind of realized baseball was my calling.
Yeah. Easy to put it away. I always felt like I was a multi-sport guy through college, and I always felt like baseball was the one thing mentally that you couldn't control. So I wish I would have been lean towards why couldn't I have been better in the other one? Did you feel that way, or was it easy to put the basketball up?
No, it wasn't easy. I really did enjoy basketball and just the speed of the game and just the team camaraderie and that kind of stuff. But it was not easy. No, not at all.
Hey, your manager, he's W Rock and for Rock Hudson. You get that whole thing? He doesn't know.
There's good and bad to that name, from what I've heard. But yeah, I don't mind it. It's a good nickname to have, I guess, especially if he likes it. So.
Hey, Brian, your catcher. We profiled him earlier in the week. William Contreras. He is obviously a force at the plate. What's he like throwing to when he's behind the plate?
Oh man, he's not like a huge guy, but he's a bigger guy, so it sets up a great target, and he's very confident in what he calls. And whenever you have a catcher back there that can throw it out, can hit him, and he's just playing the game the right way and really well, it's hard not to trust him with your stuff.
Brian, what are we going to get for room service? What are we ordering for breakfast?
Oh, I don't know. I'm big on the cookies at night, though. After a game, I love getting some more.
Me too.
So you're not a huge breakfast guy?
No, not really. Not too big on the breakfast, but the late night snacks for sure.
You don't start to see spots around 11:30?
No, not usually.
Wow.
Is that just me?
Yeah, it's just you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Brian, you mentioned your basketball prowess and your basketball career. What are we talking about here? Classic low post center, or are you a stretch four? You like to step out, face the basket? What are we talking about here?
I was a 5 through and throughout. I was rebounding, boxing out, and catching the ball in the post and going up with it.
Yeah,
So
doing all the dirty work, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think I shot maybe three balls in high school, and they didn't go too well. So I stayed underneath the rim.
Garbage points.
Well, a classic big man, and definitely a big part of the Brewers' bullpen success in the early part of 2024. They're in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. Brian Hudson of the Milwaukee Brewers, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations on your early success, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you guys very much for having me. Have a good one.
You got it. Brian Hudson hails from a town in Illinois that is the same town as the tallest man in the world. There he is. There he is. Robert Wadlow.
How tall is he?
He is
8'11", right?
Well, to be fair, the other people in that photo are only 2 feet tall.
No.
Okay.
8 foot.
No, he's 8'11".
8'11".
Could you imagine?
Welcome back to the Friday MLB Central. We are presented by Hyundai, and we are filling in the blanks, gentlemen.
Okay.
Are you ready? We have been loving the start by Mike Trout. He will hit blank home runs this season. He's on pace for,
8 times 6,
if you're into that sort of
48.
thing, carry the 1, 68. If he plays 162 games.
Okay.
Days, what's the most he's ever hit in a season?
45. 2019.
45. I'd like to see him.
I think he's going to hit. I'm going to put him at like over under
48.
38. What? And a half.
38 and a half?
Nah,
Do you think he goes north of 40?
Yeah, I think
he goes north of 40.
Okay.
I really do. I think Mike is really out to prove something.
I think the interesting thing is that part that's highlighted there. Look at the stolen bases.
Yeah.
He had just 6 stolen bases combined.
They had 2 yesterday.
They're going to stay in the fight. They're going to stay in it. Ron Washington, he brings energy to the room. There's no hamate bone issues anymore.
I like that.
If he stays healthy, I think he gets to 50. I think he wants it.
He is tied for the major league lead in home runs, 8
This is a
with
tough
Marcell
one,
Ozuna. This is a tough one. By the numbers, blank is the best closer in the game right now. Clay Holmes, Ryan Helsley, Kyle Finnegan tied for the MLB lead. I'm just saying what the lead.
I think I'm going to agree with who you say.
I'm going to go Edwin Diaz.
Yeah.
When he's healthy.
Okay.
When he's healthy, he's got the best entrance. Timmy Trumpet. When he's healthy, Dior, he's the best. He had swing and miss. He's averaging 12 Ks per 9 again.
I know. I'm with
He
you.
missed all year. He is hands down. He breathes different air. He's the best closer.
When I watched Emmanuel Clase in the postseason a couple years ago, I remember thinking I have no idea how you hit it. What about you? That's your guy?
Clase, or don't sleep on Camilo Doval.
I love how you say his name.
He is dirty.
You know, a guy gets no run, Evan Phillips of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Evan Phillips, that's a good call.
He is just a strike throwing machine.
Yeah.
Nothing sexy about him. He's kind of that old school R era. He's like Todd Worrell with the Cardinals, right? A guy that just throws strikes, doesn't say a whole lot, but he's really good.
Oh, I like this one. CJ Abrams is
I
a
was
top
writing this down.
blank shortstop in the game.
All right, so
You go
right
first.
now, who's the best? I don't want to blow your mind, but who's the best short? Don't overthink it. He's
Bobby
in
Witt.
Kansas City. Witt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's putting it on notice. Seager would be 2.
Don't you think
Trey Turner's in there.
Bichette's 6?
Yeah.
I know he's off to
this graphic, remember, this is going into the season when we thought Xander Bogaerts was going to play shortstop.
Yes, C.J. Abrams for me right now is definitely in the top 10.
Yeah.
And he's funneling in that 6, 7, 8 region for me.
Yeah.
I agree.
By the way, Seth and research gave this to me. Mookie leads shortstops this year in hits, home runs, RBI, on base, slug, and WAR.
Remember when
I'm sorry, Mookie. Right? You're the number. Well, Mookie's 1, Witt's 2, Seager's 3, Trey's 4. Lindor's gotten off to a terrible start.
So is Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette's going to end up having a good year. Don't count the Abrams out.
Legit. That trade. Mike Rizzo, you savage.
Mike Rizzo. He just jump started the whole rebuild.
Mackenzie Gore's got dirty stuff.
James
biggest
Wood.
Surprise of 2024 is what?
I'll go first.
You go first.
It incorporates you.
Yeah.
How lackluster.
Excuse me. You said not to worry yet.
I'm not worrying. Bobby Cox used to say you got to give us 40
But
games.
you're surprised how
I'm
poorly.
surprised how poorly Houston's got off to a start, especially Joe Espada was going to infuse some new energy. They haven't played well.
It's puzzling.
Swept a couple times.
I'll leave that alone for now. The Cleveland Guardians start.
Oh, that's good.
You know what? I was watching Derosa. So this morning, I'm looking at this thing. I'm looking at that. Yes, because I'm thinking, who wants to take that job over Terry Francona, right? That is a job where Francona, kind of direction of the Guardians, you would think, well, that's not the guy you want to follow. I'm with you. And when you said that this morning, I'm like, man, just stole my thunder, because when I looked at this, I was like, that was my guy.
Yeah.
You're glass half full kind of guy.
Yeah.
Guardians for you two and Astros for you. Let's turn on Ballpark Cam. How about Bay, San Francisco, California? What did you like about playing here, Dira?
I love the uniforms. I love the way the fans pack that place every night. I love Steve Perry, Don't Stop Believing. I love juvenile great white sharks in the bay out over the right.
And you love the ring that you have too, right?
All of it.
What about the birds after the game? Explain that to me.
Well, they come in because the people are eating in the left field stands, and they come in and get free food.
It's very scary. It's like Edgar Allan Poe. That's what it feels like to me.
What is it? Ode to a Grecian urn.
I don't know. Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell. A couple lefties on the mound, which is a perfect segue into your topic for America's favorite fake game show.
That's right, Lauren. Phil, the plate is presented by Applebee's, and today our contestant is Dan Plesac, and as Lauren mentioned,
Do you still have the record?
Yes, I do. I still do have the record.
Dan, don't worry.
Don't.
What's that, Lauren?
Do your best.
No. I know there's kind of an asterisk next to it, but I'm with you. I'm buying it.
Yeah. Also, Applebee's does not want Lauren hosting.
That's not true, Robert.
I don't.
We just tell the truth.
That's right. Okay, the category: legendary left-handed pitchers. You were telling us during the break. You write with your right hand.
Right with my right hand. Yes.
Wow.
I know it's bizarre.
All right, so I think you're going to do well here. Lucas, do not start the clock until I've given the first excellent clue. Here we go. Former Yankee, chairman of the board.
Whitey Ford.
Left arm of God who pitched with the Dodgers, got hurt early.
Colfax.
Yep. Big unit.
Randy Johnson.
Hall of Famer with the Phillies.
Steve Carlton.
Hall of Famer with the Braves. Maddox.
Tom Glavine.
3 World Series with Buster Posey and Bruce Bochy, former Giant.
Bad Bum.
Currently on the IL with the Dodgers. He's headed to the Hall of Fame.
Kershaw.
Kitty.
Jim Cott.
Dodger pitcher from Mexico back in
Fernando.
the 80s. Got it.
Wow.
Let's go. 26 seconds.
Let's get it. Hated it. And I'm winning.
I think that
I need that City Connect jersey. We go.
Yeah.
You up.
And can we talk a little bit about the clues that I gave?
They were good. They were
you
on
almost
point.
stumbled on Colfax early.
Yeah.
Almost, but
You said lefty.
yeah.
We know that.
No, we got it. That was
got it, though.
excellent clues by Nays, but
Way to go.
an even better
Roll
job
flow.
of me delivering them.
Wow.
Where's that?
Okay.
reinforcement of 100 kilometers ahead of about 200 meters.